I'm just going to read a very short poem that I wrote. But before I do, I want to just say, I know there's poets in the audience. I just want to talk seriously about that for a second. Poetry, just as you know, is a thankless career. You work, you polish your thing for weeks, months, years. You send it off to, the editor of like some obscure local journal, and what do you get back? Nothing. You hear nothing back, and so you just keep working, and you do it for years and years and years. And 99% of working poets don't ever see their work in print, and they just do it for the love of poetry. I'm talking about you. My first poem not only won a national contest, it was published in a prestigious anthology of poetry. It's a short poem. The year was 1997. I was 23 years old. Like the masters over the centuries, for my work, I drew on my personal life. I was living in Brooklyn, New York. It's Whitman's town. And at the time, my girlfriend at the time had just moved to South America. And I was feeling a lot of really fascinating feelings about this. And I decided to try and, the poetry was really the ideal form to explore these interesting feelings. So I wrote my first poem. As I said, it did win a national, I mentioned this, but the National Poetry Award, and it was published in a prestigious anthology of poetry. I think I said that. So I'm going to read you, the poem is called My Wife Moved to Chile. I know it was my girlfriend, but one of the things that you learn about poetry when you're a working poet is that you can take little liberties to make things more meaningful. A wife is more meaningful than a girlfriend. What did the board of editors and judges see in this? You'll see this for yourself. There's a lot of very deep depth, and also the spacing. I did spaces after, before certain lines. So there might be a regular line, and then the next line might be a full 2 tabs over. So that's just poetry. My wife moved to Chile. At the guy with 2 cowlicks' apartment, I watched the game. The guy with big knees is blocking the set, with 2 tabs, with one of his knees. The guy who's shy, holding a phone book, wants to know who can believe there's a guy in the world named Marty Schmucker. Marty Schmucker, good God, Marty Schmucker. Last Marty Schmucker is lowercase. I laughed so long, so tinny. I'll die if I stop. These people are chums. They say, why sit so far away, buddy? Far away? This is not far away. The guy with 2 cowlicks speaks over the cane of a story he had heard. A man had won the lottery and lost his ticket. 1 trillion clams. Tab. He's tearing apart sofa cushions. Tap, 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 tap. As we speak. a little more about the lifestyle of the poet, what it means to participate in this industry. People say, did you know when you wrote this that you had a winner? That you had like a super poem? No, I wasn't sure. Was it worth the $25 entry fee? Yeah, definitely. When I was told that I won, well, that was like a little less clear. The note I got. Well, I thought you won money. It was weird. You actually paid money. I don't know. It was a little confusing. You paid a little money, but so I sent the money. I was working as a bike messenger at the time. I didn't have a lot of it, but I was willing to spend the $50 to get this this prestigious anthology of poetry I mentioned. It was a very, the publisher was a very small town in Kentucky. I knew this because I looked it up. I guess that's like, it must have been like some kind of poetry, like mini capital. And I sent the money off, and I will say this, they were very quick at publishing it. Like a week and a half later, I go to check my mail, and there's a box, and I tear it open, of course. And the anthology was, I'm not going to say it was published in a Trapper Keeper, because it was a lot nicer than a Trapper Keeper. It was like a really fancy Trapper Keeper. And it was not dot matrix printer. It was like if you spent $10 more than that. The perfunctory note that was included was, I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm going to say the guy was maybe 13 years old. Obviously some kind of prodigy publisher. And you know, some people were interested in like crunching the numbers, like can you make it as a publisher of poetry in this country? Yeah, you can. You actually make about $48 per poem that you publish and factor in the cost of the Trapper Keeper. That was the first poem I ever wrote and the last poem I ever wrote. I just want to say, you know, this guy, maybe he was 13, maybe he was 12 or 14. That was 15 years ago, so what is he now? Like, in his late 20s, he's coming into himself as a grown-up, as a grown publisher of great poetry. Still living in his mom's house, I assume. And I like to think that sometimes, on the long, dark nights of the soul, he reaches under the bed and pulls out his file of old poems that he's published. And he finds comfort in my poetry. Thanks.